Hello. Welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Malamed Shlita. We will continue with the second session in our series on the Yom Tov of Shavuos, and I'd like to make mention of our special sponsorship this morning. Our shir this morning is sponsored by Sharon and Josh Brickman, Nicole, Talia, and Adi, in honor of Devorah Brickman's birthday. Those of you who don't know, Devorah is Josh's mom. She's one of my all-time favorites. We love when she comes to visit, and we just want to take this opportunity to wish her a very, very happy birthday. All I can say is that when you think about what would be a meaningful gift for a birthday for a parent, and in this family, the meaningful gift is dedicating a shir and a day of learning, I think that says a lot, not only about the children, but about the parents who raised them. So, Devorah, a very, very happy birthday to you, and you should live in good health and mazel tov, and we will share simchas very, very soon. So we continue with the connection between Pesach and Shavuos. Hayachas shebein HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'Knesset Yisrael nimshal keyachas shel chasan v'kala. The connection between God and the Jewish people is often compared to the connection between a bride and a groom. How appropriate, of course, because of our dedication today, that Nicole and Rafi getting married in a few short months, and we are very excited for that simcha as well. Anyway, the pasuk says in Yeshayahu, "Umasos chasan akala yasis alayich elokayich, v'chein nemar ko amar Hashem zacharti loch chesed neurayich, ahavas kilu lasayich lechtecha charei b'midbar be'eretz lo zirua." The famous pasuk which we recite on Yomim Noraim, that describing the love of a nation for its leader, a bride and a groom. Yitzias Mitzrayim nachsheves kemaisa ha'erisin. The Exodus was considered as the betrothal ceremony. Shekain b'Yitzias Mitzrayim hivdil Hashem osana mikol ha'amim v'kidesh osana liyos lo la'am segula. Because with the Exodus, Hashem designated and made us distinct from all the other nations. He betrothed to us that we should become His chosen nation. Now, part of the betrothal process means that a couple is designated for one another and for no one else. So the Jewish people were designated for God, God's designated as such, and for no one else. V'yom matan Torah nechshav k'yom hachasuna v'hanisuin. And the day of Shavuos, or what we call Shavuos, but the day of the giving of the Torah, was like the chasna. It was the culmination of the marriage ceremony, what we call nisuin, mishum sh'alidei haTorah anu chayim b'dvekas im HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because with the Torah, now we have an everlasting covenant and attachment with God. Just as an aside, since we have these terms, a word about the Jewish marriage ceremony is that nowadays our Jewish marriage ceremony consists of two parts. There's called erisin and nisuin. In the times of the Talmud, the erisin took place, which was the betrothal, where the groom would say to the bride, "Harayat mikudeshet li," etc., with the ring. They would then, at that point, be betrothed to one another and could not marry anyone else. However, the ceremony did not culminate, did not complete until a year later when they had nisuin, what we call chuppah and shever brachos. Nowadays, we do them both at the same time, which explains, by the way, why we have 2 cups of wine. We have 1 cup of wine for the erisin, where we say what's known as the birchas ha'erisin and the ring ceremony. And then we have a 2nd cup of wine under the chuppah, at which we recite the 7 nuptial blessings, what's known as the sheva brachos. So these 2 things are now done together, and to differentiate between the 2 of them, we have actually inserted a new portion, something which is actually not halachic in its origin. It's actually more practical, but the reading of the ketubah at the wedding is there to separate between these 2 portions. So the Rav continues, Amru chachamim shala'achar sheyatzu Yisrael miMitzrayim od lo yochlu l'kabelas haTorah. However, once the Jewish people left Egypt, they were still unable, they were not ready yet to accept the Torah. Because, and it's based on a Zohar, that at the time they were in Egypt, they were sunken down to the lowest level, almost the lowest level, the 49th level of impurity. Ukamo isha nida shetzricha lispar shivas yamim kedei litar labala. And as we have the halacha of nida in the laws of husband and wife, that she has to count 7 clean days so that she can become pure to be with her husband. Kach hayu Yisrael tzrichim lispar shivas shavuos kedei lichitaher mitumas mitzrayim v'lios re'uyim lehiskasher el hakadosh baruch hu. Again, this is based on the Zohar in Parshas Emor. So in the same way that we, as the new bride, so to speak, we had to go through a purification process, again, using this significant number 7, something which is very, very prominent in Judaism when it comes to numbers. I'll just add and we'll see more about this tomorrow, but I just wanted to add a note about this marriage comparison that we have with Matan Torah. The Gemara and Shabbos, again, this is just my own addition, this is not found in Rav Melamed's teaching right here, but the Gemara and Shabbos and Daf Peches says that at the time of the giving of the Torah, Kaf Aleim Har Kegigis, that God held the mountain over them kind of like a stopper on a bottle. And the language of the Gemara is very, very telling. The Gemara says that God said to the Jewish people, if you want to accept the Torah, fine, v'im lav sham tehei kivuraschem. But if you don't, then you will be buried here. This will be the end of you. And the Gemara asks, well, it seems that the Jewish people are coerced into accepting the Torah because God is holding it over them in a very menacing, threatening manner. And the Gemara has its answers there. But I heard a beautiful interpretation from my Rebbe, from Rabbi Jacob J. Schachter, who quotes from many sources, that says that when we say the imagery of God holding the mountain over them, we always take it in this menacing fashion. But it's possible to look at it in a very positive fashion, that indeed God held the mountain over them like a chuppah. And this was the culmination of their union, and this was the chuppah ceremony that really united ad l'olmead forever the Jewish people with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So first they had to go through the Exodus, the Erusin, they had to have the purification process, the 7 weeks, which we have the Omer, and then the finality of that is the marriage, full marriage ceremony, the Nisuin with the chuppah, and that is what brought us together forever and ever. And this will also explain why, when Moshe comes back after 40 days and 40 nights in Parshas Ki Sisa, and he finds that the Jewish people are worshiping the golden calf, these are newlyweds. And newlyweds then felt like jilted lovers because of the behavior that was taking place that showed a lack of faithfulness and a lack of faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is what made that episode so very, very complicated. But we'll see more of this as we go on tomorrow. And again, I just want to thank our sponsor today, Sharon and Dr. Josh Brickman, Nicole, Talia, and Adi Brickman, in honor of the birthday of one of our very, very favorites, Devorah Brickman. So, Devorah, hope you're listening. Have a very, very happy birthday, and know that we are thinking of you always, but especially today. Thanks again for listening. Have a great day, and we'll see you here next time.